Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. It feels great to be back after the break.
It really does. Good energy for the new season.
Absolutely. And we're kicking things off with some fascinating material you sent in, and an excerpt from The Seven Faces of Leadership.
That's the one. And it immediately challenges, the standard leadership definitions.
Right. It sort of throws out those simple labels we always hear. This piece suggests leadership is much more about these invisible dynamics.
Exactly. That's what we're digging into. Forget just calling someone transformational or, charismatic.
Because the source says real leaders, especially under pressure, they don't just stick to one playbook.
No, they adapt constantly. It's about reading the situation, sensing what's needed. They shift.
Okay, so adaptability is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And the text goes further, right? It says the style we see could actually be a kind of mask of adaptation.
Or a master decoy. Yeah, that's a strong phrase.
It really is. So if the outward style can be misleading, what does the source say really shows leadership? What's the core thing?
It boils down to their ability to, sense things in others, to decode what's going on beneath the surface, and then trigger responses.
Okay.
They use this term Humint. Think human intelligence, like really understanding people, not just hearing words, but reading intentions, spotting subtle cues.
Huh. Humilton. So it's about understanding the real dynamics, the unspoken stuff.
Precisely. Like the examples they give a leader who seems like a servant, very quiet, listening.
Yeah.
They might actually be using that listening very strategically for quiet influence. Or the democratic leader.
Might be guiding the outcome all along.
Exactly. Gently steering things while appearing totally collaborative. It makes you question judging just by outward actions.
It really does. You can't just take behavior at face value then.
No, you have to consider the strategy, the intent, the actual impact it's having.
The source also talks about the in-between, the space where power dynamics actually happen. What does it say about that?
Well, it pushes us to ask better questions about that space. Like, who is really influencing who here? It might not be the obvious person.
Okay.
And what about those tiny signals, the weak signals that actually carry a lot of weight if you notice them?
Mm-hmm. And bias.
And definitely, how do our own unconscious biases shape who we listen to, who we perceive as influential? It's all part of those hidden currents.
Wow. Okay, so pulling it together,
Mm-hmm.
the main idea is being a leader is like being a high-level decoder.
A decoder of those invisible dynamics, yeah. And a subtle player in the grammar of power. I like that phrasing.
Me too. So they might show different faces, different styles.
But underneath, there's a singular focus. Staying effective, staying central, without losing their core purpose.
So what does this mean for you listening? How do you apply this?
I think it means you need to become a sharper observer. Look beyond the obvious presentation.
Notice the subtleties.
Yeah. Watch the interactions, try to sense who really holds influence, not just who talks the loudest. And be aware of your own filters, your own biases.
It's about developing that human skill for ourselves, maybe.
Sort of, yeah. Becoming more attuned to human behavior and those power dynamics that are always playing out.
So as we dive back in this season, this look at the seven faces of leadership is a great reminder. Leadership isn't a neat box.
Not at all. It's about awareness, flexibility, understanding those unspoken forces.
So think about the leaders you encounter. What face are they showing you? And what might be the hidden currents, the invisible dynamics shaping things?
Good questions to keep in mind.
Definitely something to chew on. Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. Let the observations begin.